Hello, Internet, and welcome to Saturday Nights. Thanks for joining us here on this lovely Saturday morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it might be for you, or Sunday or Friday. I don't know. I don't know time zones. I don't know where everyone's at right now, but thank you for joining us. We're going to get started here in a second, continuing our game. I'm just going to breeze through our announcements, things that have happened and are going to happen over the next week. This last week, we had a few streams. Well, we had the newest episode of our new Dungeon World game Exiles on Tuesday. You can catch that every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We also had another session of All Myths Are True on Thursday, a spooky session, late Halloween session on Thursday, and it was a lot of fun. And we play that bi-weekly, so you can check that out in 2 weeks from now, a little less than 2 weeks from now, or the VODs or the YouTube videos between now and then. We're kind of getting close to the end of this story as far as Savannah, let's say. She has a better grasp on that, so she runs it, but we're kind of wrapping things up, reaching sort of a climax of the story we've been telling. So now's the time to get involved, get caught up, and join us for the finale, probably sometime at the beginning of the new year. We also this weekend had 2 new episodes of Cyberscape get posted. I posted one yesterday and one up today. We're trying to get caught up. We had some illness and other things over the last month or so, and I was able to get 2 of them out today, and hopefully I'll get one other out this week to get us fully caught up. So check that out. It's on Castbox and iTunes. We've got like 21 episodes right now, so there's lots for you to listen to when you're at work or driving in the car. All sorts of fun stuff. Very funny people. Bless you. The cat is sneezing. He's okay. Anyway, so lots of fun stuff to listen to there. And we also had another new episode of our podcast Storyboard that Savannah and I play, the Cypher System, kind of a superhero thing right now. That went up on Wednesday, also on Castbox, iTunes, and a few other select podcatchers. I don't know exactly where they are right now, but it's places. I'm thinking about what's coming up this next week. Do we have anything going on this week that I'm unaware of other than Exiles on Tuesday?
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we have another Slaying 101 tomorrow. Sunday, that'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. That's another Monster of the Week game that Savannah runs for a few other familiar faces. So come hang out with that. It's I'm trying to remember what we're doing right now. I think we just had a very dramatic sort of bottle episode last week, so haven't quite got into the new arc
Bunch
yet.
of people got their throats ripped out.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I see you've been taking notes.
I do. They're just not in front of me because I got my Saturday night notes in front of me. And speaking of which, I think we've hit all our announcements. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Last week on Saturday nights, your plucky group of adventurers find themselves in the depths, this hellscape, lorded over by a coalition of fiends and archdevils, and you're looking for a way to escape. You have defeated one, or before last session had defeated one of the archdevils, claiming their fiend heart crystal, and moving to fulfill a sort of legend within this plane, that if you can defeat 3 of these archdevils, that you may be given special leave to be banished or exiled from this plane by the king of the devils. you were in the middle of a heated battle with a fiend named by the name of Juggernaut, the Cinder Touched. You had defeated him, or had come close to defeating him. I just realized I need to change the music a little bit. I'm just realizing how jarring that was. You had come close to defeating him before he reached his second or final form. And the remainder of you, those of you that were still standing, rejoined by your friend Jules, bloodied, burned, broken, threw yourselves at him for one last attack, and were able to drive him back with a final push, and with a rather dramatic explosion upon his defeat. Most of you remained standing. A few of you went down temporarily. But for the most part, all of you survived. You did the same thing you did in the first city. Made them an offer to give you tribute while you took a nap. They didn't seem to respond to that, the fiends of this city of Ash. Instead, leaving, you decided to escape while you still could. And upon your exit, having claimed the crystal and seen another one of these visions, you noticed a legion of devils approaching the distance, flying the banner of Zariel, the scourged general, approaching the city. But you are heading in a different direction, away from the city, away from this army, for your next quarry. So we're going to pick up right now is because you had a fly spell going and a couple of other things going right now. Unless for any reason you wanted to turn around and go and talk to the army, I'm making the assumption that you fly as far as you can, as fast as you can, recasting the spell as many times as possible before reaching the point where you need to rest. So that's where we're picking up is kind of at this crossroads. You have a couple of options of who you're going to approach. I don't know who you're going to approach yet, but you're making camp for the evening. So, what would you like to do?
No, we're going to talk at once. Have we got a little hut put up? Can we a little hut chat?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm just making sure we've got the hut available as an option too.
Yeah, I can take care of that.
Because we need to rest for at least an hour, or else Matthias and I are useless.
Yeah, the assumption here is that you've probably taken one long rest and continue your travel. You've done like a full day's worth of travel at this point. So we're cutting to after that.
So who are we going against? I think Ragnarok was the ice dude.
Mm-hmm.
There's the undead dude, or there's Zariel, who has part of her army way back where we just were.
Yeah, it looks like we're making quite a stir here if they're sending a whole army after us. Or whatever that means.
My question is, did someone tattle on us that we've taken out two archdevils now, or is Zariel getting some kind of alert that her blood is being used to activate these challenge stones?
Izan pipes up and says, I don't know about the second part. News kind of travels fast around here. Faster than you'd expect. So I imagine most people know that two of the coalition have died at this point. So,
I mean, this is kind of what we want, right? We kind of want to make a stir, and so they'll want to kick us out quicker.
Yeah, so I thought we were meant to have an army at this stage to counter her army. Isn't that? what was potentially able to happen, Azon?
That's a possibility. If you want to go back to one of the cities that you've conquered, and
One's empty.
one is empty. That's probably the best reaction you could have gotten in that moment. They feared you enough not to just attack you. So,
What?
we could go back to the City of Iron and see what support you have there. I imagine there might be some people that fear you enough to do what you say.
Not an army's worth.
I'd rather not get an army together. That sounds like a bit much.
I don't think we can create enough food and water for an army as well.
Not quite. An army's no
Oh.
good if it's built on fear.
The other option is to go to one of the. You've got 2 of the crystals now. You find a third, and
Let's ask Kagan his opinion. Hey, Kagan, what's your opinion?
he looked at Kay again. He goes, "Well, I think," and there's a crack of electricity, and he is sucked into the crystal.
Should have just never opened his mouth. The crystal didn't know he was there until he opened his mouth.
You sound different today, Kagan. You're common in here.
Go with me. Oh,
there
well.
goes my meat suit. Damn it.
I don't
Yeah.
think the shoes would have fit you. They were made for his size.
Oh yeah, and I think it was starting to like merge with him.
Yeah, he took a little to this killing stuff quite readily.
Yeah, worse than I did.
Yeah, the dude seems a little bit racist towards devils. I'm just kind of uncomfortable around him now that he's gone.
They kind of
Oh.
did torture him for who knows how long.
Well, I mean, that was them. I didn't torture him. But he kept looking at me like he wanted to decapitate me.
We still haven't actually discussed what you actually did here.
What do you mean?
Why you were exiled?
Oh,
What you did
know.
before you were exiled? Did you like flay people?
No, nothing like that.
I don't know if I trust you.
Well, I mean, Azon, you've been great with us so far, and you haven't led us astray yet.
Right? So you have no reason not to trust me.
Yeah. See, now that makes me really want to start distrusting you.
Is it my face?
No, your face is.
I think it's more your
Stop.
neck.
You distrust people because of their necks?
I mean, most of our necks, the inside stays on the inside. It's a aesthetic difference between where we come from and here.
Well, now I feel very subconscious about that, self-conscious about that, so...
I wouldn't. Don't worry about it. You guys are being so weird.
Yeah, so before we just keep judging people based on what they look like, we should probably decide where we're going.
The frost person, 2 of you had a better chance of surviving that, right?
Yeah,
It's better 2 of us having a chance than 0 of us.
I mean, theoretically.
Oh, and there was an earth person which sounded like they could crush us.
Yeah,
That
let's
sounds
not
bad.
go. Let's not go there.
I've got a little bit of a leg up on undead, but I don't know.
That would be the closest to where you wanted to go, is Irganmund. But they'll put us further away from the armies of Zariel, too.
Love
if
that.
Well, one part of her army.
Well, one
closer
part
to
of
the
her
main
army.
one.
But we could head back, kind of double back the other direction, and towards Ragnarok would be the next closest.
So undead or ice.
I think if Zariel's our backup plan, we should head that way.
I'll
Yes.
put you, keep you on the
Undead
right
it
side
is.
of her legion there. They'll have to come back that way, so.
And how far travel would it be from her place to Undead?
At the rate that you all travel at, probably another day.
And
And
at
a
the
half.
rate of the Legion marches.
Oh, it'll take them a few days.
Okay. So we got at least 12 hours rest after we kill this thing before.
Yeah, they won't move as fast as you all do.
Lobster.
I wonder what the
Lobster.
plan was, sending this whole army after us. Were they just trying to capture us, or? get
Yeah, they
rid
might
of
think
us?
there are more of us than there actually are.
Mm.
That's a good point.
Or I don't know, she's an archdevil and who knows how things work down
Could
here.
also be that she
Just wanted to chat.
that's one option. Could be claiming the city for herself, knowing that if anyone saw you heading in the direction of the city of Ash, thinking you might take out or at least weaken Joggernath, send your army there, take control for yourself. It's what I would do.
Making a move in a moment of instability.
Makes a lot of sense now that you put it that way.
And
Things like that happen all the time around here.
Politics really is the same everywhere, isn't it?
A lot more killing here. I mean, there was some backstabbing among the nobles in Schfornen back home, but here it seems like the go-to option is murder.
If anything, it's simpler.
Mhm.
it's a lot easier blending in at back in Spawn as a noble. Try and blend in here and you gotta be demonic with a crystal in your chest. Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather not
So-
have to blend in here if we don't need to.
So if we get close-ish to town and then have an hour's rest, so Matthias and myself can recharge before we walk in.
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to just walk in. There was sort of that wall of bones.
Oh
they call it?
yeah.
Mm.
This is
Data
why we
mentioning-
had the birds.
Yes, which we are now down to one, unfortunately, but I'm working on that.
Well, it seems like you have enough to fly over now with the magics and.
Yeah, but I don't really want to be using the magics because we have limited magics.
I can make use of my magical flying and spare you some of your power. I don't actually use Dragon Maru's magical abilities all that much, so being
Okay,
able
so
to
we
fly
could
over
make
the
it
walls would be
With Matthias using one spell slot, him, Azon, and myself cast off his fly you with Dragon Maru, Hilda and Jules on Lobster.
Lobster can hold 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Matthias' spell can do 3 people.
Mm-hmm. So you technically could get everybody between Lobster and Matthias's spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And then with Undead, Jules, you said you can do stuff against Undead.
A bit. Depends on how powerful they are.
Suppose that raises the question, hopefully we're not going to have to fight any of the undead in the city itself, but is Yergamun himself undead or just wields them?
I don't know. I've never really asked him. Maybe. It does a lot of, the rumors are it does a lot of self-experimentation, so, could be.
That's nice.
I will say the things that I can do to protect us against fiends also work on undead, so...
Well, he's not as from the rumors and the stories, he's not as he's himself not as sort of scary and powerful and stuff as the last two you fought. He's a little smarter, more kind of sneaky, manipulative. So if you can pin him down, I think your group here can take him out pretty easily.
So a good Holden monster, and then wail on him.
Yeah. All right. Well, this sounds like a plan.
So we're good with plans. Now we're just not good with making them happen how we plan. I think we did all right in that last battle.
Until everything exploded, yes.
Yes, but it did save me having to break his body up as I jingle my shards of obsidian. Okay. Also, I was thinking, did someone take that planar shift spell, which we can't use because we don't have the rod to go back to?
I have it.
Should we get a forked rod for here? Do we know how to make a forked rod?
Let's see what it says.
I don't know if we want to come back in the future and be like, "Oi, Zariel, stop it."
It is a forked metal rod worth at least 250 gold. That is attuned to this plane.
Do we know how to attune stuff? Because I don't know.
Theoretically.
Somebody do like a magical. It'd be sort of like magical item crafting.
Okay.
I mean, I could attempt something. I'm a little rusty when it comes to enchanting magic items, but I'll give it a shot.
Do we have a forked metal rod from here? Could we just make that sickle forked and then
the like flame one that I've got? I forgot I had that thing.
I'm more just in case we ever or need to come back for maybe we get sent back and we can't close the portal from this side. We may need to come back and visit Chad's family for a reunion.
That's very clever.
Well, it beats opening up another portal or stopping another big summoning ritual.
Yeah, it would be good if we kept the opening of the portals to a minimum. I wonder if that one is still open, actually.
Probably. Because that was our backup plan of getting back, was to jump through that portal if it was still open. But yeah, maybe we can request a forked metal rod when we kill this next person.
Alright.
Azon, does Yergamoon City have citizens, or are they all undead zombies?
I've never met anyone from there, which I think would indicate that they're. My guess would be they don't do a lot of commerce. But again, sort of big walls, not a lot of people coming in and out. Kind of an iron curtain.
Okay.
So maybe we head back to the City of Iron after this one, and
I will keep an eye out for a rod during our travels. Made of iron that I can fork.
Perfect.
Sounds kind of like a plan.
Alright, well, should we get some sleep then?
Yes.
All right. So you all rest for the evening within the bubble.
It's my tiny hut.
Anything anyone needs to do during this long rest to prepare?
Let's see.
I will try and teach Matthias the game of Snap.
Okay.
He just likes cards, and I realize it's not going to work because his tarot cards don't have any matching tarot cards.
No.
So the game just goes with me going, okay, when the cards are the same, we just snap down. Like, it just doesn't happen.
I just never. Yeah, you sit there for a long time trying to do that before you realize none of the cards are matching. Perfect.
Yeah, because
All
they're
right.
like all like abstract like shapes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're not like
Mhm.
I'm just trying to bond with my new warlock friend.
Yeah. You guys have a nice little failed game of cards before you go to bed.
I'm more trying to suss out how I'm gonna die from his card reading.
You won't know until it happens.
It won't happen. Old age.
Oh man.
All right. So after getting a long rest, the bubble fading in the morning as you all leave, and my assumption is that to conserve spell slots, you guys are going to travel most of the way on foot, or I guess you could travel short rest and then get that last leg of the trip. So
that would probably be faster.
yeah, that's true. So yeah, you fly most of the way there, following the directions that Azon gives you, heading with the wind that perpetually sweeps across this landscape. You head over some large sort of magma pools that crack the landscape. You can see kind of small caravans of fiendish creatures that are crossing with these huge kind of insect rock-like creatures pulling these wagons behind them. But you skate over those, avoiding them as you go with your fast travel. And eventually, you, after taking your rest and walking the direction that Azon tells you to, coming up on a ridge, you look down across the plains and finally see the city of Decay, the home of Irgamun the Haunted. The sky here is darkened with black clouds. The ash clouds seem to be sort of condensed in this region. Not the same sort of volcanic activity that you saw before with the city of Ash, but instead there's just this oppressive darkness that overtakes this terrain, and you see nestled amongst the rocks and the fragmented landscape is a white city. This very tall sort of ivory wall. It kind of looks broken from a distance. It looks like it's made of hundreds of fractured pieces sort of sandwiched together and form this ring around a relatively small city, much smaller than the city of Iron. And the wall is tall enough that from your current vantage point that you can't make out the buildings or anything beyond. There aren't any towers or anything peeking up over the walls. It just looks like a perfect kind of circular white ring in the middle of the blackened, charred fields. So, your approach. You have a couple of people on Lobster and a couple of people being flown, correct?
I don't think we've cast a fly just yet.
Not yet. I'm setting up for it. Is there anything you want to do before you approach?
We want to do a quick flyby on Lobster to see if we can find the doorbell.
Yeah, I can do that.
I will come with you, Jules, because I've got the goggles on. My flying aviator goggles, because they're not contact lenses.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going
So
to fly.
we have Finn and Jules on the Rock Fiend. Anybody else? One more other person can go if they want to.
Can I send Panger with them?
Yeah, you can do that easily.
Okay. This little sort of the bat right now. His little
Okay.
piece.
Anyone else want to ride on it?
I'll stay back with the others.
Okay, so leaving Matthias, Chad, Hilda, and Azon behind.
Do we have a safety word in case shit goes down?
I think
No?
Hilda will know that Panger is in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because the only way you guys will have of communicating is you guys speaking to Panger, which is Panger's communication within 1 mile or 100 feet. I always forget.
Let me click and see, because I do not recall as well.
100
I'm
feet.
Familiar.
I have a sending spell
There you go.
if
Okay.
it goes really
Okay.
bad.
Plus, if you see like lobster get shot out of the sky,
Mhm.
safe to say we're in trouble.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So
Okay.
Jules and Finn, the two of you, climb onto the back of the rock fiend, and
Come on, Pango.
Panger kind of perches on the back as well during the initial approach, because the rock fiend goes a little bit faster, I think, than Panger does.
Yeah.
And you go soaring off, kicking up the dirt and the sand beneath you in the direction of the City of Decay. Change the music here just a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, if we do get shot down, can I just like have an action prepared? Worst case scenario, lobster dies.
Yeah, you could be preparing something while you're not doing anything else.
Yeah, the only other thing I'll be doing is looking.
Okay. Yeah.
I just want to prepare fly to cast on Jules if lobster gets killed.
Okay. The one thing with preparing a spell is that to prepare casting a spell, you have to begin casting it, which means if you don't
Really?
use it, you're
Sorry,
still
Jules.
casting it.
We just gotta hope that we're falling longer than a round.
Yeah. You're committing to spending that spell slot if you prepare a.
No, okay, not preparing. Just hope.
Okay.
Just fly high enough that it takes longer than 6 seconds to hit the ground.
That's all right.
Okay. As long as you're flying over 100 feet, you'll have an
Okay.
opportunity. To,
101 feet.
It's a close call. That'd be a very close fly spell, but you can try. Okay, so your guys are on the back of the rock fiend and approaching the White City walls. As you gain altitude, approaching these walls again, they stand a couple 100 feet high, and you can see that fractured appearance from a distance. It does seem that it's not like a smooth stone wall. It doesn't look paved or constructed in the way that walls you've typically seen kind of these exterior walls of cities are. Instead, they look like long shards of bone, thousands of them, positioned vertically and then kind of sandwiched together and form this massive ring that surrounds the city. As you approach, you guys are doing, you want to fly above the wall or kind of approach just doing a lap around the city?
Above, I assume, if we want to find the doorbell.
The doorbell?
I don't think it's outside the city.
The pillar.
Challenge
Okay.
stone.
I'm trying to figure out what you're asking for on that point.
I'm
Yeah,
terrible with names.
you fly up over the wall, and as you do, you look down into a small city beyond. It kind of reminds you of the city of Ash, where it's some squat stone buildings, nothing towering or impressive by any means. But the layout, the paved stone roads, the architecture, the patched or thatched roofs, it looks like it looks like a city that you'd see in Sarthia, you see in the mortal plane. It reminds you a lot of the architecture of a human or Goliath city that you've seen in Ishfornen. And as you kind of swoop down into the city about to get a look, I mean, it looks like it's in fairly decent repair, unlike the city of Ash. things aren't ruined and burned out, but you see no movement within the city. You don't see any creatures walking around, no devils clogging the city streets, no guards patrolling. It is completely still, eerily quiet, with this low kind of mist that hangs about 30 or 40 feet above the tops of the buildings, giving the whole city this kind of greenish hue. I'll have you both make perception checks.
I get that at advantage.
Should I have Panger make one too?
Yeah, so Panger can make one too.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a total of 31.
Holy crap.
Nice.
I mean 13, but
But what's
I rolled the opposite.
Well, see, it's got the green hue, and I just used my green eye just to really...
There you go.
Okay, and I mean, Panger doesn't. 3.
Oh, okay. So 31 from Finn.
He's not
and
very good at seeing.
what was Jules again?
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, Panger is just kind of maintaining a very vigilant watch, doesn't really know what to look for. Jules, you keep an eye around. You don't see anything moving. You're looking for signs of defense of somebody that might attack you at any point. You don't catch any of that around. What you do notice, Finn, is towards the center of town, or all of the mist in the town, though it looks still, you realize it has kind of a slight drift to it. And from your perspective, as before you kind of push down into the mist or fly any lower than it, you realize that it's all kind of rotating, spiraling off of a central point in the city, giving the impression that there is some sort of nexus to it, that there is some sort of center point that everything is rotating around. As you fly in that direction, you notice just a singular bit of movement as you approach the center of the city, kind of, I assume, coaxing Jules the direction to go towards where this mist is rotating around or might be originating from. You see a figure sort of appear atop one of the roofs of one of the low stone buildings. They sort of coalesce from in the darkness, and they aren't there 1 second, and you look over and they're staying there again, vaguely sort of humanoid, maybe slightly elongated limbs, and you just see two glowing red-hued eyes kind of gleaming at you from the darkness.
Can I put my monocle on if I got two eyes from the darkness looking at me?
Sure. The true sight?
Gem of seeing thingy, yeah.
What's the range on your true sight?
I
think it's 100 feet, but I'm not.
Inventory, gem of seeing, 120 feet.
120 feet. Okay. Yeah, you put on the monocle and you activate it, and give you a much clearer view. All the mist sort of seems to disappear in that moment, seeing straight through it. And you look over in the direction of the rooftop, and you see that figure standing there still. And you see them with a little more clarity through the darkness and the gloom. They have a sort of gnarled appearance to them, like they are created or sort of their body itself is kind of thatched together with hundreds of intertwined twigs and branches and things like that up to their face, which kind of has a more solid wooden almost appearance to it, and then two kind of branch-like horns growing out from their head, you see two glowing red eyes sunk into their face, and they stare, making sort of eye contact with you from this distance, and their head kind of cocks to the side, and they step behind the kind of smokestack, the chimney out of this roof, and disappear from your direct line of sight.
I don't like this one bit. Do I see the challenge stone anywhere? So
No. So, Jules, you stir the rock fiend forward, and you reach the point where everything is sort of rotating around. And what you see ahead of you, at the center of the city, you don't see a challenge stone. You see a well.
Well. What do we have here?
But it seems like all the mist is rotating around it.
Okay. I've seen enough. Unless Pangu wants to go down the well.
Oh my goodness. I mean, hang on, let's... Do you direct him to go down the well? Because he's disconnected from me right now. He's smart.
Unless Jules is going to stop me, I'll be like, we need somebody to go down the well, as I'm just looking at this bat flying next to me.
I mean, I think it's gonna have to be us, but...
Do we tell the others first, or do we just go down and look?
No, I think we should go back and get everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will inform Jules of the creepy tree dude that just lost the staring contest against me because I'm amazing.
Great.
I think I scared it off. Probably the bad guy.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Because he was all stitched together.
Gross.
Yeah.
Alright, well.
Let's get out of here, lobster. I don't like this place.
All right, the two of you pull up, cutting back up, gaining altitude over the walls, and back towards your friends. Which the lobster, you watch as the rest of you that were on the ground waiting as they approach and land in front of you with a heavy thud, to tell you what they saw.
Well, what did you see?
Creepy tree gnarly dude with red eyes who I don't think blinks, but I still won't beat in a staring contest. A well which had a lot of mist in, and that well's made of bones. And everything had a slight green hue to it.
So the creepy guy, as you said, that was like the only thing you saw in there? The only living thing?
If you're counting undead as living, then yes.
Yeah, there was no one.
And he went behind a chimney, and then he's gone. Did we end up going around that chimney to see if he was just hiding on the other side? Or did we just be like, oh man, I don't know where he's gone now?
You didn't say he went, so you had to just be like, oh, I can't see him, so he's not there anymore. Apparently Finn doesn't have any object permanence.
I can't see him, he's not real, thanks.
Well,
Man, where'd he go? He just hid.
well, maybe we could just
Yeah,
crawl
not
in
even-
through the front door.
I even had my monocle on, so he must have went somewhere completely away. He wasn't invisible. This one's gonna suck. Does anyone have fairy fire or something? Is that it? The one with the little lights fall down from the sky and covers everything?
No, I mean I could make some lights, but they don't do as you describe.
Oh well. But it looks like it was made of wood, so
So yeah, creepy well?
your bat didn't want to go down the well by itself.
You didn't ask him to. He said you were
I
staring at him kind
kinda-
of creepily, but
I kind of implied it should.
okay, well. You could ask him. He's clever. He knows things. You just gotta be kind. Just
He
ask.
doesn't know what implying something means. Okay.
Sort of pulls him away. Don't say bad things about my pet.
So, how far from the walls was the well?
We didn't measure that.
It was at the center of the city,
I
so
mean, not far. It's a small city, but
So,
it's right in
yeah.
the middle.
Did we want to say potentially have Lobster ferry people over the wall to save us using your flight spell? Because it doesn't look like there's anything there.
Potentially, but
Was there no sort of? I guess maybe can we?
Did we see
from
a
here
door?
If there's like a break, yeah. If there's a break in the wall anywhere, or if it's just like completely solid all the way around.
We really suck at this scouting out.
yeah, there. I'll say from your approach, it looks like there are a couple of breaks in the wall where like creatures would enter and exit through along the base, like because again it's like thousands of these like massive bone shards, and so there are some like small gaps in the wall exterior along the bottom. There's not like a central entrance to the city.
If you guys didn't
Just
see
like a
anything,
really tall fence, like a poorly made massive fence.
How thick was it?
The wall, maybe like 15 or 20 feet.
Okay. So it'll take Chad a while to hack his way through.
If he wanted to do that, yeah, it would take him a little bit.
Okay, we'll go to one of these large cracks, see if people can fit through. And if not, we'll just fly over.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't see anything else except for whatever that creepy thing was, so we'll just keep our eyes for that. Maybe.
Something is telling me, I mean, if I had any idea that enemies were coming onto my home turf, I would definitely be setting up an ambush. You know him to be fond of the undead. Maybe they're all hiding in the houses waiting for us to get near.
They also know we can fly over now, so no matter which way we go, it's going to be dangerous.
Dude, half glass full. Much like Mr. Glass half empty over here. Oh, they're probably hiding to kill us. We got a break. Let's just optimism.
Yeah, maybe they just all left.
Yeah, that's the way, Matthias.
I say we go through the wall so we can all stay together.
I like this one.
Does the rock only carry 3 of us because we can't fit more on its back, or because it's not strong enough?
It is not. It's not strong enough to maintain altitude with
Okay.
more than 3 people on it.
It doesn't be like we just hang a rope underneath and we all just hold on.
let's just walk. We haven't walked for a while.
Yeah, you're gonna get flabby. Okay.
Not with eating the food Jules keeps making here. Okay?
It's all salads.
It's all
I don't know. What food does Jules make us?
Iceberg lettuce.
And
sounds
it's like
gross.
chicken.
I
Snow crab.
was looking to see if the spell stipulated. It
It's-
just says,
it
it says
doesn't
it's
say.
bland but nourishing, so I don't really think I get a choice.
But see,
Snow
I
crab
thought
wrapped in iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, I mean, you could like flavor it though.
with precipitation, it
Yeah.
always tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
It's just the texture that's weird.
Yeah, no, it's probably pretty standard, like dried meats and stuff.
It's just beef jerky.
'Cause I think we said it was an apple last time. We made it taste like chicken because it had the texture of an apple.
No.
And the taste of chicken.
It's camping food.
Yeah. Okay. So
Bam.
you all bring it. You're bringing lobster with you though.
At least to the wall. We might have to
Uh,
park them outside.
You had to hitch them outside. Yeah, you might have a little bit of trouble getting them through.
Can we talk to the gem, the geode, and be like, zap the bird?
You
Just, like,
can talk.
stick it against it. We've never talked to it before.
Yeah. It just
Wait a
goes,
minute.
well, finally, someone decided to talk to me. You've all been incredibly rude.
Lobster, I choose you, and we just throw it like a Pokeball and be like, boop, 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 boop.
That reminds me, because I was looking through earlier notes that Dragonmaru is sentient. It just doesn't speak in words.
Yeah, it speaks. in
Wait,
images.
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
It gives
boy.
you general impressions through images and stuff. Yeah.
If Chad mentions that, Finn's just gonna look at his gun and be like, come on.
You ain't told me nothing yet.
So you reach the base of the wall, and you see these cracks in the wall, the gaps between these bone shards that you can walk through pretty easily. All of you, anything larger than like a normal human size.
Chad.
Yeah.
Who's larger, Chad or Jules?
I think Jules is taller.
Okay, anything larger than Jules.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm
Jules
the
is
rock
taller, Chad is beefier.
I mean,
The rock fiend could
tall
not walk
6'2".
through. Yeah. Could not walk through the walls. So you could hitch it up outside, and it'll stay and head on through on foot.
I think Jules has the most power over Lobster. I don't know if we want to hitch it here or hitch it, because if it can't fly away and people come, meat's back on the menu. Otherwise, I don't know if it's going to come back and we just let it fly away for itself.
Yeah, I think it's good. Potentially take care of itself. Maybe we just leave it there. We give it a little bit of food. I mean, we've been feeding it, so hopefully it knows if it sticks around, we'll keep giving it food. Like pats it a little bit.
Yeah, with the animal handling checks you guys have done so far, it'll stay.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna murder your pet unless
You killed the other two.
unless you guys neglect it. Well, you neglect
Because of an explosion. You didn't neglect them. I put them away high. Okay, hands either side of Lobster's face and be like, we will be back.
Okay.
I'll leave him
Don't
some
die.
food too.
Do not die. If you
All right.
die, I will kill you.
Okay. You look so you leave your friend Lobster behind, and head into the city, and emerge onto these abandoned and quiet city streets that you saw from the air before. You see that cloud of mist hanging above you. Hello. You see that cloud of mist hanging above you, kind of swirling lazily over the rooftops, and begin making your way towards the city center.
How long does it take us to get to the city center since we were last here on the bed?
It was like the total time since you
Yeah.
saw the well and then head back and came through.
Well, my gem seeing last 10 minutes. I want to know if there's any of it.
It's been more than 10 minutes.
Okay. I can use it 2 more times, so I think I will use it to peer down the well if anyone has no complaints.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second, because as you walk through the city streets, like I said before, it's quiet, and you don't get the impression as you walk past some of these buildings and you look into the broken windows, you don't see anything moving inside. You don't get the impression that there's just like an army of devils camping out, waiting for you to pass. But as you approach the city, this well that you saw before, and that gloom overtakes you, and the eerie quiet just begins to unnerve you. Finn, with your passive perception,
Which is now 21, by the way.
nice. You see another little kind of disruption of movement ahead of you, around the corner of one of these alleyways, and as you come to pass it and you look around the corner, your group in tow, you see this in this darkened alley. You don't see anything at first, And then you notice as you look a little bit up the wall, there is a figure kind of clinging to the wall in the darkness.
I'll put my
and
gun
you see
at it.
2 glowing red eyes staring out at you. And it speaks in a voice that all of you can hear.
But can we all understand?
Yeah, I think it speaks in common.
Okay.
The orchestrator, the organization of your party, or being as diverse a group, I think it just assumes. So it speaks out in common in this raspy, reedy voice, and it says, "So you're the challengers, then?"
That
Yes.
would be us.
I assume Joggernath did not survive his encounter.
You could head over to the city of Ash and try asking him.
I really want to jingle the obsidian shards.
You're welcome to.
Okay, I'll jingle the obsidian shards. Like, you can ask him yourself.
There's a raspy kind of laugh that echoes out from it, and you can see the creature crawls down the wall and kind of detaches from the wall, and a little bit of a backbend, the feet kind of hitting the ground first, and then the whole body kind of coming up to rumble. It's very unnatural kind of posture. And as it steps out of the shadow, you see them approaching. I'll throw the token down.
Oh, okay.
These glowing red eyes and this like glowing red interior forming the semblance of like a skeletal nose and mouth, and it cocks its head in your direction, the whole body kind of cracking and breaking as it moves, and they say, "So you come to my city then to what? Usurp
Ring the
me as
doorbell.
well?"
Do we
Doorbell?
need to ring the doorbell, or can we just fight now?
I don't understand this mannerism. you
Challenge
use.
stone, blood, bone.
The challenge stones. So that is how you goaded my brothers into their demise.
Indeed.
Interesting.
I'm gonna do my little telepathic talk to Jules, I'll say, because she seems to be like the moral compass of our group for some reason. She's a cleric, she's probably the nicest person. I'm going, am I shooting this person right now?
Wait to see what he has to say.
Okay, well, you told me if I gotta shoot.
Okay.
Say, well, if you're here for a challenge, a fight in the same manner as with my idiots of brothers, you'll find things here aren't as simple as they were. I had told them time and time again not to leave their shackles so publicly displayed.
I think it's you're more clever than that.
The mouth kind of cracks into a wider smile, and he says, "Infinitely."
Is it wider than Azon's smile?
So
I'm gonna call bullshit.
Not quite.
Still creepy.
He's like the least creepy person we've seen since we've come here, minus the wall getting down a bit.
It's a little creepy.
They say, "What I don't understand and why I speak to you now in this form is why do you seek to do this? Why do you push forward to persevere in this way? What is the goal that you seek?"
Why do you care?
Well, perhaps I can aid you in this matter, and you can go on your way. Leave me to my work.
We all have different reasons. one friend just wanted to kill devils, but he's not here at the moment, so...
Or is he?
Looks at
He's
you.
in the...
I'll tell you, if death is what you seek here, you will find it, but none that live here. You'll find that they are
already
quite acquainted with death. The only ones that could find their death here would be you.
Don't count yourself short, buddy. You can also find death here.
You'll find that is not an easy riddle to solve.
Apart from that, I think some of us just want to go home. I'm not to it. I'm also kind of interested in the little red gem inside people. But I don't know about the others. Can someone else start talking? Because I just start blabbering all of our secrets out. Like,
gives Finn a look. He does make a point. If you have the power, what we truly desire is to leave this plane. Perhaps you could help us with that.
I assume you wish to return to the mortal coil once again. Is that where you are from?
We wish to return to the mortal plane, yes.
wait, is there more than one mortal plane? I'm going to turn to the rest of the group. Gun's still on this guy and be like, is there more than one?
The material plane, then.
The nice one. I don't want to go to a material plane of fire.
If traveling the plains is what you seek to escape this place, I could perhaps help you in this way.
Do you
If
have
your
a
desires are
metal
so.
rod from another plane?
How might you help us to return to the material plane, and what would be your asking price?
My asking price would be for you to leave and leave me to my work and my solitude once again.
And in
Seems reasonable.
what form or manner would your aid manifest itself in?
Well, there are many ways to traverse the plains for beings not powerful enough to do it at their own accord. I suppose there are beings deep within the bowels of the sepulchre that possess such power. They could transport you for a small cost, perhaps a valuable trinket or a soul, a life. There are 6 of you. I'm sure you could spare one from your group.
We've done enough dealings in souls lately, so I'm afraid that option is off the table.
Yeah, he's not allowed to sign any contracts unless his lawyer reads it.
Well,
And his lawyer's on the material plane, so unfortunately that's a no-go.
if that asking price is too steep for you, I've heard rumor that there are some who have found ways to stretch the boundaries and travel to the material world. I believe that the one of the archdevils here, I don't know if you're acquainted with Zariel.
We've heard of her.
Rumor has it she's found a means of opening a gateway. I know not its current status, but she may be able to assist you in this matter.
We have another way to get sent back. But unfortunately, it means bad news for you.
I don't think my death would help you in any way.
That's
Worth
what
a
most
shot,
people
though.
who are about to die say.
So again, do I need to ring the doorbell to fight you, or do we just do it here?
You may take whichever actions you see most fit,
Oh, I really want to shoot him.
and I will respond in kind.
Just like grabs the like Finn's arm, is like, not yet, not yet.
I really want it. He's right here.
What?
Finn, something tells me this is not his true body. So while shooting it may be gratifying, it would serve us little purpose ultimately.
I activate my monocle for its second time of the day.
Sure.
Does he change appearance?
Mm-mm.
He looks pretty good through this, guys.
All right, so say,
Or do
say
we
we
go
leave
to-
you. Leave you alone to carry on your work. And then return you would direct us to a way we could possibly leave this plane.
I believe I've provided you with direction. I can make the necessary introductions if necessary.
You can get Zariel here by herself without her army.
I don't believe I could do that, but
Oh, I thought you were all powerful.
I never claimed such a thing. But I could send word that you are interested in speaking with her, and you could travel to her domain and deal with her directly.
Really
Kinda
wish
like-
Kagan was here because he would just be attacking.
Kind of like looks at the others and be like, what do you think? Particularly at Chad.
Can I insight check this fool?
Also,
Sure.
that should be done.
Yeah?
That's bad. Hold on.
I don't like this guy.
That's like a 9.
A 9. Okay.
What?
Yeah, it's hard to get a read on him.
He
And
doesn't
that's
have a
not
lot of
just a-
facial features to read.
That's not just a plant pun.
What assurances would we have that if you made contact with Zariel that you wouldn't be sending us into a trap or an ambush or selling us into captivity?
Well, if you're truly powerful enough to have defeated my brothers, I doubt such cheap tactics would have much effect on you. Your assurance is your own power.
Really don't like this guy. I'm saying that out loud in front of him.
Oh, Finn, you haven't liked most people here.
I like these on.
Well, you need not enjoy my company because either way, you won't be in it for long. I truly
Is that a
would
threat?
recommend. It's a suggestion. Your means of going about here and attacking, killing, destroying, breaking, they're not looked kindly upon. We desire order and purpose here. And you'll find eventually you'll reach a wall that you can't simply smash down. So take the
Don't
Take
think we've
the
actually
diplomatic-
broken anything here, have we?
option while you still can.
We haven't technically broken anything yet. Your brother blew himself up.
Looks at Finn very confused. Sir?
Well, for now, I will leave you to your decisions then, since it seems you may have some thinking to do.
one unrelated question before you go, if you would be so kind. What is this mist that we're breathing in as we stand here?
Kind of looks around and sees the mist swirling through the air and says, "It is well, something of my own design. I can promise you it'll do you no harm."
Insight check. 17.
Oh,
Okay. 17. As far as you can tell, there's not a direct lie to that. But it's hard to imagine that he's telling the full truth.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thank you for your candor. It's been refreshing that for once we were able to have a conversation with something in this plane rather than it attacking us more or less on sight. Perhaps you can understand why we have taken that up as our modus operandi.
He gives a wide smile and says, "Well, then perhaps with that attitude, we may be able to come to an arrangement. I will leave you to your deliberations." And steps into the shadow, and you hear kind of a breaking and a snapping, and the body sort of contorts, and the red light disappears, and a chunk of kind of branches and wood and thatch is left in its place.
Stephen?
Don't say anything about his body not being real.
we were saying that it wasn't real, but sometimes it's not. It's best to talk it out. Like what we just did there, instead of shooting everything on sight.
We're not actually going to take him up on his offer, are we?
I mean, I like the sound of it. But then again, I was also partial to just going straight to Zariel, which a few of you were not so keen on, so...
I'm fine eventually talking to her, but what other time apart from so far Azon's kept his word about not killing us? But every other time we've taken the word of a demon, we kind of opened a portal, and then I had to fight Chad multiple times. We haven't had the best of luck with their deals.
I mean, the way I see it, it's not necessarily a deal. It's someone who's trying to keep himself alive, knowing that
said
we
he could-
destroyed two of his other brothers, as he said. Sounds like someone who wants to live.
By apparently arranging a meeting with Zariel. We could
So
arrange
with
a
that.
meeting ourselves
Well, then let's go do that then. We don't have to deal
with
with
his
him.
shard in our bag.
Okay.
He thinks he's smarter than us.
What do you think, Chad?
Do you think this would be, if we were to fight him, would be the most challenging fight we've had thus far? Seeing as he does not seem content to meet us in a slugfest as the other two were. I do think it's in his best interests to make us happy with whatever he's offering. And so he may be able to arrange a meeting with Zariel, whereas if we show up at her city ourselves, how do we assert our claim, let them know who we are, get through without her setting her whole army upon us? But at the same time, if we get there and negotiations break down with Zariel, what do we do then? Fight the top dog with our armies all around? If we get to Zariel's city, what is our escape plan?
Well, maybe we don't have to go to our city. Maybe we could find a neutral ground. Siragun is willing to sort of help us with this. Perhaps he could. Maybe he knows of a place where we could meet.
So I don't think we need his help. Only Zariel's ancestry blood can ring the doorbells, and we've rung 2 of them. Clearly someone here has her blood.
She also sent part of an army after us.
Yeah. So I don't think we actually need his help. And also, we need to kill 3 people apparently to get sent home. We're already here. The dude's arrogant.
You just want to kill him because he's arrogant, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Finn, sometimes you
said
can't
I
just
couldn't solve
murder
his-
people. I mean,
I'm
yes,
not
he's like
murdering
an
him.
archdevil or whatever, but you've gotten really bloodthirsty since coming here. I'm really concerned about it.
He said we couldn't do it, okay? I just want to prove him wrong. He said he's smarter than us, okay?
There are
Maybe
plenty
of
of people
average
smarter than-
intelligence. Yeah, I'm not going off for you, Chad. No offense.
Can I incite Finn?
Sure.
I don't think he's actually just saying that it's like only arrogance. I want to know if there's some deeper reason why he wants to kill these archdevils, specifically this one. I wonder if there's something more to it.
Okay, make an insight check.
Okay.
Bow, bow, ba, bow, bow.
That is a 23.
Okay, I'm going off my personality trait. The best way to get me to do something is tell me I can't do it. He said we couldn't kill him because he's smarter than us, so screw this guy.
Okay, so it's really just because he said
He
that.
says I
There's
can't
not
do it.
some ulterior
It's
motive.
literally, he says I can't. And I'm like, well, screw you, buddy. I can do anything I want.
Dilda's very nervous now. Okay. Got it.
It's one of my flaws, okay?
Yeah. A dangerous flaw, my dude.
Yep, but it's a flaw nonetheless because it's also I don't pay attention to the risks in a situation.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it really is just
How far away from
being
this
arrogant.
well are we?
How far away from the well?
Yeah,
You're probably still a couple blocks over.
because I still want to try and get a peek down while I've got this Gemma-scene going. So can we walk and talk and make up our mind? Because we got to talk to him anyway to be like, we take your deal or I'm going to kill you.
We can try. I'm just concerned that he might take approaching the well as a sign of aggression.
Well, how else are we going to talk to him?
He's probably listening right now.
Yeah, okay. If you're listening, old mate, we're walking to the well, still thinking. Come out and attack, I'll kill you.
Finn, you're welcome to go look at that well. I'm not interested in looking at it.
Okay, but are you going to be like in the vicinity in case he does attack me?
No. I'm gonna
No,
stay
you're not
here.
going to be in the vicinity? Okay, that's cool.
If you wanna go look at it yourself, you can go.
Okay. Come on, Matthias, let's go.
Matthias is like standing there like a dog being called by 2 people right now. Is kind of looking back and forth like what's going on.
I'll go with you.
Thank you, Jules. What is Jules' opinion on this? Should we kill him or should we leave?
I don't know.
Should we flip a coin? Heads we kill him, tails he dies?
They're all bad options.
Not go with work.
We might show up and have to fight Zariel. We might have to fight here. Either way, we're throwing ourselves at our deaths. But
We've done it the past 2 towns.
if we're going to do it, I don't think he's wrong in saying we might ought to try the diplomatic version first.
It's probably going to end us fighting Chad's relative. I don't know how they're related. Don't know how many generations apart. Or...
And perhaps she'll be unwilling to kill her own blood. You don't know and I don't know, but the situation we're in right now is bad. They're all bad, but if we can meet her on neutral ground, at least if we have to fight her, it'll be out in the open.
I think unless you find something that would greatly change our opinions looking down that well, you should take his deal.
Okay. Let's go look down the well.
I'll go with you.
All right. So Finn and Jules, the two of you head towards the well at the city center, kind of navigating yourselves based on the gradually sort of increasing sort of rotation of the mist above you and your prior trek through the city. And you reach the town center with this large stone sort of courtyard and this well sitting at the center with the low sort of humming whistle kind of emanating from it with the winds that are gradually blowing in this circle. And we're going to go take our break right here to come back and see what we find. So stick with us. We'll be back in a few minutes to pick this up, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break. I don't have any announcements or anything to go through, so we'll do all that at the end of the session. So let's get back into it. So we've got the party. You've all arrived in the city of Decay. You had a conversation with the ruler of this city, Irgamun the Haunted. Gave you some things to think about. The party kind of pulling in a couple different ways with what they want to do next. Finn and Jules are heading to the well at the center of the city just to sort of investigate what's going on there. Hilda, Chad are hanging back with Azon and Matthias. Actually, I'm going to send Azon I'm going to send Matthias with, because you did, Finn, ask for Matthias to come with you. So I'll say Matthias, Jules, Finn in one group, Azon, Hilda, Chad in the other. So yeah, before we get to what's going on at the center of town, is there anything that Hilda and Chad are doing while you guys are waiting?
Yes. Chad, can I talk to you for a second? Just over there. Sorry, Azon, but it's a little bit personal.
I'll just wait over here then.
Azon, could you keep an eye out in case he decides to start sneaking zombies up on us or something?
That's a very good idea.
Sure, you should have led with that before telling me that you're just excluding me from a conversation.
A very personal and private conversation.
That's fine. I know we're not friends yet, and nobody trusts me, so I'll wait over here down the street.
Goodness.
what did you want to talk about?
I just want to know from you how far you are willing, what you want to know about Zariel and this lineage that you supposedly have and everything. Because it seems like you want to know more, but I just want to know.
Yes, I mean, I've been trying to think about this, but you're right that I want to know more, but I don't know exactly what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mother talked about, told me a little bit about her parents and her side of the family, but it was mostly about, how much she loved my father, and despite the difference in their station, that they worked as a couple until duty had him marry my ex stepmother. I don't know if if she's still my stepmother, even though she's dead. But
I mean, as far as we know, she's dead,
but yes,
can't really know for certain.
But yes, I mean, I don't even know if my mother knew about her ancestry. Clearly, my stepmother knew something and manipulated me with it.
Mm-hmm.
But so yes, I want to know more, but I don't know, what I should be asking and what knowing about it would do. I mean, certainly seems like a big deal to be descended from one of the archdevils ruling in the depths, but again, once we get back to the material plane, what does that do for me?
Yes, because we do want to get home, but I was just curious if there was something more that you wanted out of this, and it sounds like, while you don't maybe know what questions you should be asking or what you're trying to figure out, I was just curious how far you would want to take it, because I am also very curious, but I know that we are a group, and perhaps in trying to work as a group, that you are holding back a little bit in sort of what you actually desire.
I mean, perhaps, but as I said before, when we kind of had this conversation as a whole group, that I would survive if we never encountered Zariel while we're down here and just got back home. But at the
And
same
you're
time,
alright with that?
I think so, but then at the same time, this may be the only chance to speak with her directly. And as Jules just said, maybe she'll be hesitant to strike us down or strike me down. But we won't know until if and when we meet her.
That's true. Well, I just want you to know that if we do end up speaking with her, and there's more you want to know, that I'm here to support you in that.
Thank you. If you were in my shoes, what sorts of questions would you be wanting to ask or learn?
I mean, it sounds like your stepmother was sort of almost grooming you for this. Whatever this is, I guess that's what I'm curious about. Why go through all this trouble? I would maybe ask what you are meant to do. If there is something you're meant to do, or just your existence is all that they needed.
And if that's the case, do I still serve a purpose, or can I be discarded now?
I mean, you might not serve their purpose, but you're your own person.
Yes, of course. No, I've only just with been, what, a few days now maybe that we've been here. Only just learned about all this. I'm not about to reshape my whole personality and sense of self around this revelation, but it also can't be ignored so lightly.
True. So yes, I would want to know whatever sort of parts you are intended to play. Whether it is something that you actually want to follow through with, or it's something you want to frustrate and make sure it doesn't actually come to pass. And I would love to assist you in this.
It's going to take all of us together, even if it is just diplomatic negotiations.
Yes, I think this diplomacy for this next part is important, which is why Finn is driving me nuts right now.
Yes,
Wish I could
keep
just
an
stick
eye
him
on
in a
him.
little geode.
Keep an eye on him. No. I think that's a conversation for another time, but even when we've had, rests in the tiny hut, I don't think any of us have truly felt safe enough to have meaningful conversations. We're all still kind of on edge.
Yeah. I mean, this is not the greatest of places to be, so it's definitely straining on everyone. Kind of like looks over to see if like Finn has like jumped in the well or something.
All right. With that, we'll cut over to Finn and Jules, the two of you walking towards the well.
Look, hold this rope. I'm going down Mission Impossible style. No, okay.
You reach the outer ring. Anything that you're preparing or on your short walk there? No. Okay. You reach the outer ring of the well, and Finn, you look over into it. You feel there's like a slightly like kind of breeze here, where like on the outskirts of town, it's the air currents are slow enough that it's just enough to move the mist. It's not really perceptible. The closer you get, the more you feel this like current that is stirring the mists in this town.
It's enough to mess up my hair.
It's like, any loose strands are kind of waving a little bit. Yeah. So you reach the edge of it and you look over and look into it.
Unless Jules is gonna stop me, I'm looking into it.
No, I mean, that's why we came over here, so.
Okay.
It's not a cautious little pirouette, it's just a straight whipping my head over. It's like, if this is gonna kill me, I'm going out with purpose.
Okay. Do you have the monocle on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't want to waste the second charge of it.
Yeah. You crane your head over the edge of the well, holding on to the stone wall to keep from falling in. And as you look down into it, you do feel like a breeze coming up from inside. And you can see there is mist accumulating or emanating from the well here. And it seems like this might be the origin of it. It is dark, and your true sight doesn't pick up anything other than along the edge of the well, there is kind of spiraling down like some rivets into the interior, like handholds almost. But all the way to, like, towards the bottom, just far out of your perception, far enough that the true sight only barely pierces the darkness. You can see a glow, indicating something is down at the bottom of the well. You just can't see what.
It's may come across as a bad idea. But Finn's gonna start grabbing his rope out and be like, tying one end to himself.
Finn,
There's something glowy down there.
of course there's something glowy down there. It's a
Yeah.
creepy demon city with weird mist. I don't think this is a good idea.
Matthias says, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it together, because I don't think the three of us are gonna cut it.
I just need it. Is there, it's like 10 feet away, just out of my sight? Like,
No, I mean, it looks like the well probably goes down like 200 or 300 feet.
okay, so I have to go like a full 3 ropes lengths worth.
Yeah, it just looks like there's like a faint pinprick of light down at the bottom of the well.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I probably won't be like, I just need to climb in 10 feet just to get a better look.
No.
It looks like that's where the mist is coming from, at least.
Yeah. So we need to make a choice.
We just don't know your decision.
Why do you want to kill this particular one so bad? Is it just because he's...
He said
a
I
dick?
couldn't. He said I couldn't, and he needs to be proven wrong.
So you think he's arrogant?
Beyond arrogant.
And you don't think what you just said isn't?
No. It's not arrogance when you're correct. I'm correct.
I think thinking is correct is
Matthias, shush.
So you want to put everyone in danger just so you can be proven right?
Well, let's see. We fight this guy who seems to be by himself. If not, he's got an undead army, which you're strong against. Or we walk into a potential trap against someone with an actual legion who was the original arch demon thing and could probably wipe us all out herself. Who's less of a threat?
We
The
don't
original
know.
archdemon or this person?
That's the thing, we don't know.
We know you're good against undead.
I know I'm good against fiends. All of them.
Yeah. But can Chad be controlled by his blood?
I don't know. Can this mist go up our noses and start melting all of our brains?
Probably.
Jules, I don't know. I just don't think Finn has the ability to walk away from this fight. I just don't think he can do it.
Look, if all you want us, if all of you want to go the other place, we'll go the other place.
Finn, I am concerned about you.
Let's head up.
You're so focused on this, it's like you've all but forgotten what's happened up to this point.
We need 3 crystals to get sent home.
You don't know that. That's the thing. Why are you trusting what Azon told us?
Why are you trusting this guy can get us a safe visit with Chad's ancestor?
I'm not. I'm taking a gamble.
I would say the same thing. I'm taking a gamble. Yeah, we've already killed 2 other ones trying to get this as they're heading straight to... Admittedly, the second one was to save Matthias.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let you gamble with all of our lives without us agreeing to it. Finn, you almost died.
Yeah, almost. It's gonna take more than that to keep me down.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. Cheers.
You're a piece of shit, you know that. Finn, you are our friend. But you're letting this guy get to you. I'm not
Look,
gonna let
if
you
you
throw
swam-
yourself into a well and die because some guy rubbed you the wrong way.
So, I was going to throw myself into the well. I'm just going to gently lower myself.
With what arms?
Fine, I was going to cast fly and I'll just fly down the well. You don't need your arms when you can fly.
That's
Gosh.
true.
We're already here. Look, we'll go back to talk with the others. Looks like you're wanting to leave this guy to do his experiments. Never thought I'd say this. Kind of wish Kagan was around. But don't tell him I said that if he does come back. Okay, let's just...
You'd never live it down. Finn, if we're gonna do something, we all have to be all in.
Yeah.
So if you're second guessing us, now's the time to say something. We're putting a lot of faith in you against
In me?
our better judgment sometimes, I think.
How are you putting faith in me?
Well, we're all in this together.
Yeah, but why are you putting faith in me?
Why wouldn't
I ain't
I?
a demon. I've been following Chad. If Chad's been following me, this is a blind leading the blind here.
We're not following you, but we all have to trust each other to have each other's backs, right?
Yeah, I trust you with my life. Or else I wouldn't be like, here, hold this rope.
Then stop trying to climb down creepy wells and let's
Stop
take the
those
option in front of
people,
us.
bro. Okay, we'll walk into the army and hope she doesn't kill us.
It's half an
On the
army.
spot. Look, would you really send half her army?
I don't know what she would do. All I know is I'm just trying to keep all you shits alive so we can go home. So please don't go off and jump down any creepy wells, because against all my better judgment, I think if something happened to you, I might be sad about it.
Can I get that on like a recording or something?
No.
Matthias,
That's
Matthias,
it.
you witnessed that. You witnessed that, Matthias.
That's all you're getting, and it's only because we're stuck in literal hell.
Can I explore creepy houses on the way back to everyone?
You can look in some windows, maybe.
Okay. As we walk back, and I look in windows, see if there's a kitchen, so I can get a fork. A metal fork.
Good perception check.
Worth 250 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Perception
it's
check,
gonna be
and
a
it's
lot
worth-
of forks.
Can we get a
I
bunch
forgot
of
it had
forks
to
and
be
tie them
worth
together?
So much.
Melt all the forks together.
You just get a
Okay.
fork, yeah, fork tie diamond to it. It's now
Yeah, it's a real expensive fork, huh?
And because it's with eyesight, it's with advantage. So that's a 30.
Jeebus.
not a lot of
just-
dinnerware in these houses. But you do see a small iron implement resting on a broken table, like a two-pronged fork.
Okay, I'm gonna climb in through the window, even if there's a door, because it just seemed cooler.
Okay, climb in and grab the fork and climb back out.
How have you survived this long?
Is we make this worth 250, and then get Hilda to attune it. After we go visit Chad's family and go back home, we can come back and kill this dude. Everyone gets their way.
Okay. We can talk about it.
You never know if we have to come back here to close the portal.
True. Alright, well, if you can figure out how to make that worth enough to work for a spell that big, we might be doing something.
Let's see, how can I... Oh,
Maybe you can just lie to it.
or we get the Afridi out and we go, I wish this was worth
No,
250.
alright, no, we're done here. Bring your fork. Come on, Matthias. We're going back.
You can also just wish for the thing you need. Okay, that works too. Yeah, okay, you guys
I think Jules is walking away and pretending to be irritated, but I think she's laughing and not hiding it very well.
All right, you guys reconvene with the rest of your group. You see a rather kind of downtrodden looking Azon standing at the edge of the alleyway. And he motions over his shoulder to where Chad and Hilda are approaching, coming back out of the alleyway and looking out, and they see you returning.
Anything in the well?
Not much.
Would you pay 250 gold for this? I'm gonna hold up the $300 worth. Oh.
No.
Correct, it's $300 worth. I thought.
What's $1?
It's the currency they use in this place. I thought you of all people would know that, seeing how you're like.
It's an Australian dollar, a US dollar, though.
Yeah.
Not much. The mist and some creepy
The
glowing.
mist generates from there. Yeah, and then Jules wanted to climb in it, and I'm like, Jules, I think we need everyone. And then Jules even said she would miss me if I died. She would be sad.
None of those things happened.
Matthias,
I think you're making this up.
I'm
but
telling the
I'm
truth about the
surprised you
second
didn't
part of
jump
it.
in.
Matthias, was I telling the truth about the second part of it? The Jules missing me part.
I wasn't really paying attention.
I didn't say
Like,
I'd miss you.
looking back and forth between Finn and Jules.
Yeah, you did.
To convince Finn to not jump into a creepy well that's making potential death mist with a glow at the bottom about 300 feet down, I told him I might be sad if something happened to him.
I'm glad you said as
Climb
much,
down
because
the
I
well.
would have assumed he wasn't just gonna jump in.
This is why we don't
Climb
leave you
down.
alone. Anyway,
Matthias was going to be there.
not much to be seen except for all
A
of that,
glow.
and then the handholds going down. So still an unknown quantity.
That is curious. Well, it sounds like a mystery we will not look into because we're gonna talk to Irgamon, right?
Yes, I think we should take him up on his offer. At the very least, have him let Zariel know we're coming if we want to get there under our own power.
I agree. I think we should try to arrange to meet her on neutral ground.
Yes. I think this is a good idea. Let her know that we just want to meet, that we don't want to murder her, because maybe that's why she sent the armies. We don't know yet, because we haven't had a chat.
At that moment, Finn, I think with your ridiculous passive perception, you notice first a bit of shifting, and you look across the street. All of you hear a cracking at the same time, and you look across the alleyway from you, and you watch the stone of the wall kind of shift for a moment, and then almost like walking out of the stone is the same form of Irgamon, now in like these bits of rock and mortar and other detritus kind of all forming the body again, that same glowing red eye and horns and kind of the same general face, but has just strode straight out of the stone wall. And that same raspy voice, this time echoing a bit more from within the body, speaks out and says, "So, have you made a decision?"
Yes, we would like you to reach out to Zariel, try to arrange a meeting on neutral ground, let her know we would like to talk. We have no desire to fight, just want a conversation.
Excellent. Well, this will all work out nicely then. You don't have to I don't have to get my hands dirty. We don't have to deal with any of that unpleasant business. And you can get what you want and head on home. This will work out better because, as it happens, I contacted Zariel. On the off chance you wouldn't take me up on my offer, I figured I'd rather her know anyway. So, it all works out. And she seems rather interested in meeting you, especially learning that one of her descendants is among you. He looks pointedly over at Chad.
I just kind of raise my eyebrows at him and it's like, yes, go on.
What makes you assume it's Chad? It could be Hilda.
Well, he said it was him just a few moments ago.
Fair enough. Just saying it could have been Hilda.
But did I actually say that? I'm trying to think what I actually
During your
said.
conversation with
While talking with me.
very explicit that you
Yeah.
were the descendant of Zariel.
Yep.
And he was defo listening.
Yeah.
What a creep.
He kind of steps back towards the wall and he says, and seeing how interested she is, I believe she's on her way right now.
Giant wings. Just comes over the
And in
wall.
fact, you do hear the distant beating of wings.
Well, I would.
I believe
Should we
this is-
suppose that's her?
I believe this will suffice for neutral ground. This is not your territory, nor it is hers. So I'll leave you to your business then. And sort of steps back towards the wall as the beating of wings grows louder and louder. And you look up as Irgamun steps back, kind of forming back into the wall, the glowing eyes sort of fading and returning to that rocky exterior as the whatever semblance of animation or life leaves this vessel. And as you peer up towards the sky, you see a collection of figures approaching. Around 8 medium to large winged devils, you can assume, are currently kind of cutting through the crowd, through the dense cloud cover, like doof, forming in kind of a semicircle formation, and then a larger hole opens up behind them, and you see a much larger figure with massive spanning wings break through the cloud cover and then overtake them and cut downwards, diving through the city streets, the mist parting in their wake, and then with a burst of wind that kicks up the stone and the dust and the debris all around you, that blasting, almost knocking all of you backwards. In that moment, you see a large woman currently hovering in front of you. I'll go ahead and drop the token here. She has tanned skin, wearing black kind of armor with chains wrapping around her entire body that are kind of digging into her skin in the exposed areas. The jagged metal plating covering her body as well, and 2 bony wings about 20 feet to either side, spreading out. They look angelic, or formerly angelic, but burned away and rotted. But they managed to keep her aloft as they beat heavily, creating this dust storm around you. And with one last beat of her wings, she lands on the ground about 30 feet away from you. The remaining 8 devils of this entourage, these armored, winged, kind of spined devils, perch along the edges of the city street as she lands and begins to walk towards you. She stands probably about 12 feet tall, and looks down at you with a demeanor of superiority as she stops before you. And she just silently watches you, doesn't say anything for a moment.
I will step out ahead of the group to meet her. Do I see any kind of family resemblance, or is it just too far distant?
You don't know. I mean, I don't think there's any immediate resemblance. She doesn't have the same sort of I mean, she doesn't look tiefling. She doesn't have like this sort of visibly sort of fiendish or demonic look to her. She looks angelic by most accounts. And as there's this long pause, and you hear the clicking of talons along the roofs above you and along the rock ledges, she finally speaks, and she says, "I'm happy we finally have this moment to talk. You've been causing disruptions, chaos, not something that I appreciate in my domain."
Well, by that same token, your actions or the actions undertaken on your behalf by my stepmother have done the same in my domain. Something I do not appreciate.
My assumption leads me to believe you are the one that Irgamun informed me of.
Yes, that would be me. Do I call you grandmother, auntie, or just Zarya?
She pauses for a moment at just that imperious look across her face, and she says, "You may call me your queen, your lady, as long as you show respect." I'm curious how you found your way here. My agents on your side of the barrier have not reported in some time.
Well, I believe that's because well, unless souls come here when they die, I don't know that you'll be hearing from them again. But it's their fault that we're here.
Well, we've seen enough setbacks at this point. So, I believe you wish to make a deal to return to your plane.
Yes. The sooner we're out of your hair, the less chaos we cause, the fewer other archdevils who need to die.
She looks over all of you in turn, and she says, "I believe we have a mutual arrangement that can be made. I have something that I need from you as well. You will come with me back to my city, and we will speak more on it there."
And we will have safe conduct there. You're not just going to lift us up, drop us onto the ground below, get rid of this problem.
Her wings unfurl once again and beat heavily as she raises off the ground about 10 feet in an instant, and she says, "If I were to kill you, there would be much easier ways to do it."
Well, you can't blame me for trying to cover all angles when dealing with fiends, especially archfiends.
Her face kind of contorts in that moment, and
or those who hold similar positions.
Yeah, I think you
It's
see
me on the fiend day.
you see a flash as she kind of unfurling from her hand. Appearing there is a long 9 sort of tailed whip forms in her hand, and she strikes out in your direction with it. I'm going to roll an attack roll unless you're going to say it. You just let it hit you.
I don't think I'm going to let it hit me. I'm
Okay.
trying to see what I can do, if anything. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna try and dodge, but I'm also not gonna, whip out a weapon and try and counterattack.
Okay. So I'll just be a normal attack roll. That's a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That'll be 7 slashing and 11 psychic.
Okay, so 18 total.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. I'm going to have to at least draw my weapon because this is my friend.
I think if I see that, I'll just kind of raise a hand.
Oh, but can I also conjure a whip that looks just like hers?
Okay.
It just looks like it.
Okay, you begin to conjure the weapon, and as it appears in your hand, Chad puts out a hand to. It's kind of Chad. You stagger forward. It's this. The force of the whip doesn't hurt all that much as the prongs lash across your body, but you feel this just innate pain just rack your body in that moment, far beyond just the striking of the weapon. And as soon as she strikes you with it, it recoils into her hand and then vanishes again. And she says, "You will not speak those words to me again."
I apologize for any offense I may have given. I have only just recently learned about you, and clearly have not learned all the details of your situation.
She beats her wings once more and hovers a bit further into the air, and she says, "You will be escorted by my guard."
Excuse me, queen, lady, angel, deity. We have a pet called Lobster.
Finn, now is really not the time.
Well, if we go too far away from Lobster, we won't be coming back. Can he come?
If you have
Please?
means of transporting yourself quickly, that we may escort you,
Yes.
my guard will allow you to do so.
Thank you.
Otherwise, they will bring you along by force.
Oh yeah, it's just outside the city. Yes.
She looks up to the devils that are perched on the rooftops, and in that instant, they all ascend at the same time and land sort of encircling you, and begin to kind of, all of them pulling out their spears and weapons and kind of prodding you down the street. And Zariel beats her wings once again and kind of ascends very quickly through the clouds, far, far above, out of sight.
All right.
Better get a move on.
Yeah, just don't call her a fiend.
Yeah,
I'm not
that
entirely
would be
sure
good
on.
to avoid, I suppose.
Yeah, and I don't know why I summoned a weapon. Just reaction. Just gonna put this weapon away. Please don't do that again.
In overall, it went well, and I'm curious what she would need us for.
Probably
Maybe
to
for
finish opening other portals so she can get and rule our world.
I'm sure it's something terrible.
But hey, so her little devil friend circling us. Lobster's just outside. I'm just gonna casually and slowly start walking towards the crack we came through, and hopefully they don't come in.
They prod you that direction. You regroup with your rock fiend. Some of you can climb onto it, as many of you as they can.
Okay. Can I cast Find Greater Speed?
Yes, you can.
I
Just that
can.
one.
Yes. I think I've got something to help with this. I've been sort of preparing this one. And yeah, pulls out a bell and summons a Pegasus.
Okay. So you summon your Pegasus, this I mean, I'm imagining in my mind's eye just
Uh-huh.
like a classic Pegasus. Is there anything different about it? Is that like flame decals or
Has like shiny sparkly flame decals all up
Is
the
it
Racing
Finally.
side.
stripes. It's red, so it goes faster.
No, it's probably just a regular looking Pegasus, but maybe has like a little bit of like a sort of like a reddish tint like on like the feet and like legs and stuff, kind of like how like Panker got sort of warped by being here, so maybe it's like slightly, but it's still like a fey creature or celestial, I mean. So it's not super fiendish, but so
so your Pegasus kind of forms. I don't know, and the guards that are currently escorting you kind of shy back a little bit and are a little bit wary of it at first, and they kind of move in with a bit of hostility. But the Pegasus isn't attack. There's no other aggressive posturing.
Chad, I was actually thinking that maybe you should ride on it. It might look good to Zariel.
Think I can do that? Do you want to ride with me, or is it not large enough to carry both of us?
I think it's good to carry both of us.
Yeah, I think 2 people can ride on it. I'd allow that because should work out nicely. Because then Jules,
Finn, not Barry.
Yeah, I was gonna correct myself. Jules, Finn, and Azon will ride on the Rock Fiend, and Matthias can cast levitation at will. So he's just gonna do that and kind of grab onto the back of the Rock Fiend and just kind of
kind of like
gonna
water
skim,
ski.
Water ski.
Or what's the thing where you
been
get
able to do that?
Oh, like a couple of episodes at least. It just hasn't come up. There's been a good opportunity for it.
Because you got to
That's
use the wobble
amazing,
stuff
I
to
love
propel
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Matthias just kind of hovers into the air, and we'll just I'm trying to remember the word for the when you're on the skateboard and you grab onto the back of the car.
Itching?
Skitching. Yeah.
A dangerous thing no one should ever do.
No, it's terrible. But in this case,
Unless you're levitating and there's a rock fiend and you're in the
unless you're a warlock and you can cast levitation at will. So he'll grab onto the back of the rock fiend and get dragged along. And cool. I think that will cover everyone.
Heck yeah.
All right. So you all mount up and then go kind of flying off with the guards flanking you as you do. You have a fairly long bit of travel ahead of you. I don't know if there's any planning or secret telepathic conversations that are going to happen while you are flying.
We'll just assume that I've opened up the telepathic conversation highway, and we'll transfer any information between people so these devils don't hear us.
Okay.
So for now, this conversation, so instead of you saying it and me repeating it, we'll just pretend that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I know a song that'll get on your nerves, get on your nerves, get on your nerves.
Finn, if you do this the whole way, I'm going to throw you off that rock fiend myself.
Not if I
Who's
get
gonna
you
do it
in
from
first. I will turn this rock fiend around.
No, you won't. The devils won't let you.
I mean, it's got a bit of a point there.
I will tell them you called Zariel a fiend.
I did not.
I know, but I'll tell them you did.
I'm pretty certain I'm more persuasive than you.
Not if you're a splat on the ground.
Oh, I can fly, you can't.
The bird likes me better.
I don't care, I'll just cast fly. So yeah, is there any important conversations happening around here, or are we just picking on Finn? Just
Nope.
For no reason? What? No reason?
I've done nothing wrong.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
mean, I guess we just have to listen and see what she has to say.
And be nice, everyone.
We're just pointing out that she's so much better looking than Chad. and Chad's stepmother. Like,
I don't know what the comparison is with my stepmother. There's no reason for them to be related. Otherwise, she wouldn't have needed me.
Good point.
But in terms of the favor or task she has for us, what are we willing to do and what aren't we willing to do? Because I imagine she might want to use me to open up more portals back to the material plane. I feel like that's a no.
no contract signing.
I don't know, it's a hard question to answer when we don't know what's on the table, but I'm also in the camp of no contract signing.
Yeah, let's wait to hear what she says and then we shall see. But it is a good sign that
Maybe she's
she
just
didn't
like,
murder us on sight.
give us Azon and you can go. And we'll be like, okay.
Now that would be rude.
But are we willing to give Azon over?
Is Azon in this conversation?
This conversation.
Is
This
it just the four of
conversation's
us?
You have
So-
And
noticed
Matthias?
since all the devils and stuff, since they all showed up, he has pulled his hood back on and is
Okay.
sort of trying to conceal himself a little bit.
that,
Okay.
and this conversation, it's only Finn can talk to someone and they can reply, and then Finn will have to transfer that message to everyone else.
Yeah, this is a long. You guys have about like 6 hours of travel that you're about to go through.
Oh, we're
And
not
the
bored.
conversation will take up most
No,
of it.
and the conversation is very slow because Finn has to individually tell everyone the same thing over and over and over again.
It's just Chinese whispers. I'm changing it to be like, gosh, Finn is amazing. Gosh, Hilda
Yeah,
says
I was
Finn's
gonna say
amazing.
all these insults and stuff. You're transferring to everyone else, so they know the
Yeah, are
conversation.
you?
Whenever it's somebody complimented Finn, it's like, oh, so insults him. It's like,
Does
Um,
Finn do different voices for everybody? What he thinks we sound like? Anyways, that's just a side
yeah,
thing.
Chad sounds like that royal who's always up themselves. Oh, look at me, I'm Chad. Oh. Like an actual Chad.
Not our Chad, but an alternate reality Chad.
Like an actual Chad.
Papa said I could do this.
So a lot of good planning going on here. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you guys
Such
want to
good
decide on?
Planning.
Jules is just pretending like she's not laughing.
Oh, you don't want to know what Jill sounds like to everyone else.
I don't know if there's what we will plan other than
That's fair.
let's hear the plan, and it's probably gonna suck.
Let's sign the contract. Maybe we don't have to keep up with the deal when we go back to the actual world. Let's just forget about that.
I think this one's gonna have to be made on the fly.
There's an issue for future Hope of Vagrants to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we bring Kagan back with us, he ain't gonna be happy.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. He kind of
He
didn't
kind of was-
seem like he wanted to come along.
Also, if he pops out of the geode while we're making a deal, probably not going to go down to it's like, rah!
Maybe I will give the geode to Pinger to hold on for a while and have him not be around.
But then what happens if we get instantly teleported back? What happens to you?
That's a good point. Well, we're just gonna have to hope that the geode doesn't pop off.
Okay, time to
Can I
have a
counterspell the
talk.
geode?
Maybe like me or Chad should hold on to it, and then if he pops out and goes berserk, we can grab him.
That's a good idea.
No offense, we're just,
You think that I
Much
can
bigger than
hold
him.
Kagan down if I needed to?
do you want to hold on to it?
No, because she's probably going to blame whoever's holding onto it for bringing out a crazy dwarf in a meat suit.
That's true. He's wearing a meat suit. Okay,
I forgot
so
about that.
all right, so gonna give the give the geodigitals.
Don't you mean Chad? You're riding with Chad. It's not like we can just bring him in close together and.
Well, when we
transfer-
get
like,
there.
hey,
Yeah,
devils.
no,
Don't mind
yeah.
us.
Toss it. Just toss it. At
Here
each
you
other.
go. I got this. So good at throwing footballs, guys. Chad, I'll
Okay.
do what I can to support you while we're there talking with Zariel.
Is there a secret word? Is there a secret word for attack?
I mean, that's not a bad idea to have something just in case.
Maybe if one of us calls her a fiend to her face again.
You don't want one of us, because if I get bored, I'll be like, "Oi, you fiend!" And
What if we just shout for Kagan very loudly?
Kagan!
Then maybe he'll, come out of the gem if we will it. But also, he is symbol of violence right now.
okay, if Kagan
Sure, that
appears,
works.
or someone yells out Kagan's name, or if the voice in the sky says "roll for initiative,"
You hear a voice in the sky?
Yeah,
yeah,
a sky voice from the sky
yeah.
people.
describe stuff when you see it. Sometimes it's really weird.
Yeah, so if we're going to attack, I guess invoke the name of Kagan.
Okay, but not just if he appears, though. If he appears, we should probably try to
I'll grab him.
calm him down.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because if he appears, I was just going to shoot and be like, "Rah!"
I figured as much, which is why I clarified.
Okay.
All right. So
We're all
after
gonna
this,
die. Be nice
that,
knowing you guys.
that was probably 6 hours of conversation. Trying to make all that work. And eventually your flight begins to land. You kind of burst through the clouds in a similar fashion as before, and you see another city. This one larger and grander than any of the cities that you've been in previously by scale. There are the kind of it's a lot like the city of Iron in that it has sort of a basic sort of infrastructure. It looks well maintained and built up, more orderly. It's larger than the city of Iron and has a surrounding sort of defensive wall. Camped outside of the city, you see another legion of fiends, more military tents and barracks and guard posts. There's a heavy military presence here. The city itself is stone buildings, less blood than before, but there is a sort of a hushed order to everything. And at the center of the city, there is a palace that is an eerie sight in this plane, in everything you've seen so far. There is a well or a moat of magma that encompasses and kind of feeds into the city, surrounds the palace, then feeds out of the city windward. And the palace itself stands out and is a strange construct here, in that while the rest of the surrounding region is this black scarred stone, this palace is white. The stone itself is purified and clean. It looks just waiting for it.
It's clean. Too clean.
Too clean. It has
I'm going
multiple,
to die.
spires jutting out around the perimeter. 7 spires encircling the central palace, which has a large domed building, and it is ornamented in gold. It just has a very bright appearance to it, and again, not something that you have seen here previously, and it definitely stands out to you. As you come descending down into the city, you land very close to the palace in like a main thoroughfare, and the devils that live here, which seem again orderly. You see signs of commerce. You see shops. You see devils that are seen like dressed as you would expect, like townsfolk to be in a larger city. There appears to be some amount of like industry here. Which again throws you off. But nothing is more disconcerting than a sight to the sort of southern side, or the the windward side of the citadel, this palace. You see a massive rift in space that juts up from the ground from some walled off portion of the city. In that direction, it is gleaming with bright light, and is very noticeable and very apparent from your current position as you come in to land. And it looks a lot like that crack in space with the kind of shattered glass-like appearance to it that you saw in Gwildun before you were banished from there. So you land in the city. The crowds part. Zariel, who you haven't seen until this point, comes streaking down as if she was not too far away from where you were flying, was staying within close proximity to you, lands on the steps leading up to the palace gracefully, wings folding in. And she turns back towards you and the guards, and motions for them to escort you up towards the palace. And they begin to do so. All of you being taken off the rock fiend. Lobster is taken somewhere else. Is not allowed into the palace, but is pulled off kind of forcefully, sort of in the direction of the walled off portion where you see the rift. And as you're all pushed and prodded forward, you hear a voice behind you say, "Azon, Deathcaller, why are you back here?" And you all turn, you see Azon with the hood up freeze. And you see a look, a smile fades off his face. He says, "Don't just play it cool. I don't know who you're looking for, friend. I have the wrong person." And he kind of tries to shuffle forward a bit more, and a fiend comes walking out of the crowd, very tall, with massive black horns curling down, wings similar to Zariel's, but with the fiend just kind of bat-like appearance to it. Has this very dark, kind of smoldering eyes, and places a large hand on Azon's shoulder and spins him around and rips the hood down as the guards let him through, and says, looks down at him and with a look of recognition and says, "I knew it was you by your smell. You were told never to come back here." And you see the crowd kind of gathering, and they're staring around at this commotion, and you hear some of them in Infernal, Chad, and I don't remember if any of you speak Infernal, but at least Chad does, and you hear them whispering, and I think a couple of you pick up on their whispering Azon's name. You hear something, "Azon Deathcaller, is that really him?"
I will stride forward, shove the bigger fiend's arm off, and say, "He's with us, and Zariel wants us. You back the fuck off right now."
Make an intimidation check.
Get him.
I'm gonna stand behind Chad, because how dare they say Azon smells? I cleaned him up multiple times.
That's only a 16.
16.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's pretty good.
Okay, with the 16, Zariel is already walking up and like entering the palace and leaving you to this. The guards are trying to gain some order here, and you see the one of the guards that's been escorting you. It's a much smaller fiend than this one, but has a sort of ornamental aspect to the helm that they are wearing, indicating probably some rank. And comes striding up and sort of echoes or mirrors your motion of pushing this one away, and says, Ornoth, I'll deal with this, and looks towards Azon and says, is it really you, Azon? I hardly recognized you. Well, I suppose your friend here is right. You are to be escorted into the palace, but you won't be going to the same place as them. Take him. And the other guards begin to clap chains onto Azon and pulling him, kind of separating him from you, but pulling him into the palace as well, up the steps that you are now being pushed up to.
We're trying to talk this out. He's actually part of everyone that killed everything. It's very important. He should come with us.
The guard looks at you and says, this one has been sentenced to exile. Upon returning, his life is forfeit. He will be executed somewhere.
He didn't have a choice in returning.
He was invited back.
You guys kind of told us we had to.
It does not matter by our code.
So Zariel was walking away. Is she still out here, or is she like totally in the palace?
She's gone.
Dang it.
We should talk to Zariel first, because she's gonna be very angry.
You will have the opportunity to do so. He will
he be alive?
He will come with us. We have killed 2 archdevils in this place, and you do not want to cross us.
He is being pulled away from you. They are not.
I grab him.
Okay. You begin
this is gonna be bad.
You push through the guards that are trying to separate you and move to grab him. The other guards draw their weapons, and if you continue down, we're going to roll initiative here. If you're going to continue.
If they draw their weapon, I draw my weapon, and I put it to do with the fancy helmet, and be like, Jules, what are we doing?
I'm taking Dragonmaru out, doing thaumaturgy and saying, your queen requested his presence. He does not die until he has spoken with her.
Am I yelling Kagan?
Was there anything else anybody wanted to say?
I can't believe we're doing this over 8.
Don't tell me. I don't know.
Okay. As this happens, you push through. The Azon is being pulled away and has this sort of frantic look on his face. The captain draws his weapon as well. The guards drawing their spears, and they all turn on you. Let's roll initiative.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it wasn't me which started this.
Would I have had the chance to get the benefits of a short rest during our travel to regain a few hit points?
Yeah, you could have. That would have
Fly.
counted for a short rest.
Okay.
You just want to like, don't talk to me for an hour. I'm like, okay, great.
Okay, who's rolling initiative?
Chat. No, I will.
All right.
Don't fail us now. I only rolled a 6, so that's an 18.
Okay, 18.
This is the first time we could lose initiative battle here.
Yeah, it is possible.
These are humanoid type figures, right? I could get a Casper.
They're fiends, not humanoids.
Damn it. Sorry,
Nice
try.
Okay, let me trying to find the sheet here. You rolled an 18. They
Could have just let him die.
They rolled 7, so they failed.
Yes.
I'm not the one that drew a weapon.
They drew weapon on you. I drew weapon on them. Okay.
That's so nice.
Okay.
You did say you would miss me if I died, so you deserve to be protected.
Well, and we
because-
might be about to see if that's true.
because a sad point in Finn's life, nobody's ever would have missed him.
Oh,
Oh, people are actually my friends now. Time to.
All right,
Oh,
let me
buddy.
get
Oh,
a
these guys again.
I don't know about those guys. Oh, there's so many of them.
Yeah, because fighting the other dude would be more dangerous than declaring war on a palace guards over Azon.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And he doesn't smell. I
8.
Why
He
did
deserves our help.
Azon let us know that this could have been bad? Is my question.
He was hoping he'd get away with it. Okay, you guys are gonna go first. Oh, I forgot the other one. But you guys can go ahead and.
Okay, so he's definitely like in chains.
Azon is currently, like, I guess you would say, incapacitated, or he is fully restrained right now.
Well, we all know what Finn's attack plans are.
Do we?
He's shoot and shoot. Okay, like that's his.
True, but who do he shoot and shoot? Oh, hey, there's another one.
I take it the
Hey,
big one
Azon,
is
you
the one
changed.
who called him out,
The big one
yeah.
is the one that called him out.
and the
And I'm
one
assuming Beard Dude is the guy with the fancy helmet who I'm pointing a gun at right
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And the others are just the guards that were.
now. Remember how I'm like all the previous fights we've been fighting one person, so chain lighting is probably not that beneficial right now. In hindsight, probably would be better.
Well, I picked up a different area of effect spell instead. But I still feel like we should not be fighting.
Okay. So who's doing what? Jules, you were pushing yourself through to try to get to Azon. Was there something you wanted to do? Do you want to try to free him from the chains?
yeah.
Okay.
I have a great big mace. I'm gonna.
Just attack it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to smash those chains right off.
Sure, do it.
He's our friend. He's our friend. Oh, that's good. That's a 22.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Roll damage.
Okay. My sheet's not loading. I don't remember what my damage is. That's 14.
14. Okay, that'll be enough. You smash through.
A little bit of radiant in there.
That's some radiant in there too. Yeah, you smash through the chains, and they're broken. The bindings that were holding his hands are broken away. So Azon is currently free.
Okay. Then I turn back to the guards after this radiant flash and say, "Cross us and die."
Okay.
I'm gonna go after the big guy who called him out.
Okay.
Just start wailing
Is he
on
the
the dragon
same
arm.
as the type? Is he the same type of big guy which we killed at the start, who I skinned, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Finn's crazy for skinning a demon."
No, this is different.
We still think
guy.
that.
Because I'm thinking, if this is the same type of guy in back of Finn's mind, more fire-resistant flesh coming right.
Okay, so that is 24,
That'll hit.
27,
Hits.
and another 24.
Hits.
All right. I rolled a 2 there, so I get to re-roll it. Okay, so that is 15 plus 12 plus 9. 36 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
That's a good hit.
That's a good hit.
God.
Hit him real good. All right. Yeah. You move forward and you smack the pit fiend 3 times with your axe, carving into the flesh, and he staggers back, has remained very intent on Azon this whole time, and now turns on you. All right. That will. That's Chad. Hilda.
Do you have anything
I just posted it in chat because I'm assuming Finn was gonna do a shooty shoot, like he said.
I'm saying that's what Finn would be doing in combat. It's like, are we actually?
Well, it's a good question, because if you want to do so, what Hilda planned in the chat, which I won't read until you want to commit to doing that. If you want to do that, we may be able to disarm this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I very specifically did not go after the guards.
Yeah.
I'm more. I think I'll spend my time trying to calm down the captain of the guard and persuade and be like, look, he's just coming with us.
Okay. All right. So then, while this commotion is happening, Hilda's gonna pull out a bell and just like, look at Azon and be like, run, and is gonna cast haste on him.
Okay. Okay, you cast haste on Azon, and he feels the surge of adrenaline. He looks at you, and he looks at Jules, and he says, I'm not going to leave you after all this.
We'll find you.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't think it'll take much, because he looks at the guards, he looks at the pit fiend bearing down on Chad right now. He sees everything that's happening, and he realizes that he's the source of it. He uses his no, I think he just runs. I think a couple of the guards do strike out at him as he runs past. He's going to use his bonus action to.
He has a +2 to his AC.
Okay, he does.
Let me click the thing so you know what he can do. Boop.
So they're going to make a couple of attacks against him, the ones that were holding him, with their forks. That's a 20 to hit and a 12. So the 20 will still hit. The 12 will miss. It's only a couple of points of piercing damage, though. It's not a lot. So the 3 points of piercing damage as the one strikes him, kind of cuts across Azon. He goes darting off into the crowd, and then he's going to use his bonus action to dash and move even further away. He goes disappearing off in the distance. Finn, you said you were going to do some persuading.
Yeah, I'm going to lower my gun and be like, look, we don't need to kill you as well. Like, you don't need to die over this guy. How about we just chat with Zariel? We'll take responsibility over his escape.
Okay.
Probably calm your friend down over there.
I can't decide if it's persuasion or intimidation.
I'm not intimidating and I'm not lying. I'm trying to be...
Okay, yeah, I'll do persuasion.
Sure. Yes, I get advantage on that. And it's +15.
Oh, God.
33!
Holy crap!
All right, 33. So that ends your turn with the persuasion. Here's a couple things that are going to happen.
What's Matthias going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, Matthias. Matthias is standing down
hide?
Matthias is standing down if nobody is attacking. They're not paying attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing anything. So I think here's what happens. Before the guard has a chance to stop this, the pit fiend got attacked by Chad. So he's not happy about that.
Bring it.
Okay.
So he is going to try to make a bite against you, Chad. Oh, geez. That's a 19 hit. Also, that should have been whispered. But
that hits.
Okay.
Just barely, but it hits.
All right. I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
Good at those.
It's against poison, if that means
about poison.
anything.
I think I have advantage. Yes. I have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Well, those were garbage rolls. That's no, I'm gonna legend point.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Because that was gonna be a 16. I only get one more roll, right? Not another advantage.
No,
roll.
yeah, you just get one more roll.
That's much better. That's a 22.
Okay,
which is
you do
just
succeed.
what I needed.
Yeah. So you'll take damage from the bite attack. That'll be 25 points of piercing damage.
Oh. That dude could kill me in one bite. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's half poison. No, it's just you're just not poisoned.
Yep.
And then he is going to. So he makes the bite attack against you. Sees Azon running off and is going to run off after Azon.
I'm gonna attack of opportunity him.
Okay.
We got the tripping, not prone.
Yeah, so that is a 24, and I don't think I can actually stack different maneuvers, like do 5 of them at once.
Okay.
I think I only get to choose one.
Yeah, I
attack.
think it's only one per.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to remember which one of these it is that I want. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna try the trip attack. Or
Okay.
Is he large or
Ooh.
smaller?
Yes.
So he makes a strength saving throw. And let me roll the damage on this stuff.
Okay. Strength saving throw.
That's
Well,
one on.
It's weird
I
they
get
don't have
to
proficiency
roll.
on it, but so that's only a 13.
So he is prone.
Haha!
Suck
Yeah.
it,
No
sucker.
proficiency, but he does have a +8 without the proficiency,
Yeah.
but still
He
fails.
takes 21 points of slashing damage from that attack.
Nice. So he is knocked prone as he runs away. He stands back up, looks back at you, and kind of growls, and then he turns and continues to run after where Azon went, or flies after where Azon went. At that point, as the guards that are around Jules are moving to stab at her, the guard captain yells and says, "Damn it! Stand down! They're here on Sarthia's orders. You two, go after him." And 2 of the guards go running off in that direction too. The rest of them stand down, and he gets right up in your face, Jules, and just sort of growls for a moment and thinks better of it and just says, "God."
Coward.
And he says, "The rest of you that are still here, you will be escorted into the palace as I've been instructed to do so.
That's what we wanted.
If we find him, I can't promise that they'll even arrest him this time. They will likely just kill him on sight."
Good luck finding him.
You need us to find him. Finger gun as I walk past towards the palace, like, sucker!
He turns with a flourish of his cape, leading
I
into
can
the
flourish
palace.
as well, and I'll flourish my.
Or you turn the other way and then turn back because that's not the direction you need to go. And you are all escorted up the stairs and into the palace. And we're gonna call our session there.
Okay.
He's on of all fucking people.
What they call it?
Azel.
They say death caller.
Yep.
Death caller, yeah.
He
Oh,
was
Like
an
one who
assassin
calls
for
death or
sure.
death?
The
Caller.
one who calls, CALLER, not
Okay.
COLAR.
He's done a lot for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We made a
but
promise.
yeah.
I hope he can
Well-
hide real good.
I wasn't
He has
sure
a
how
whole
that.
minute.
I'm banking
Yeah.
on him being able to hide.
Well, so
Thank
he
God
can run.
Chad went up.
He could move at double speed, so that would have been with dashing. That's like
Yeah,
it's
because you
a
get an
rogue,
extra
so he
action.
could-
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
back
He
in the
could-
city of Ash.
hold on, I gotta remind myself what his speed
All
is
I'm
because
picturing is
the pit fiend can fly 60 feet. So
no,
Oh,
so he
shoot.
would be able to, if it's double, he'd be able to move 60 feet, action dash 60 feet, bonus
Well, he
action
has-
dash.
he's-
180 feet a turn he can go.
yeah, because he's got 30-foot run, 10-foot hover. So he's gonna be running.
He can
can
hover
hover?
too? All these
Yeah.
people can secretly hover. What the heck? I want a hoverboard now.
There might be a few
Just
things
hover,
that-
like, what do you mean? You can't hover as well?
there might be a few things that Azon could do that he didn't make.
Yeah, I'm sure. We need to talk to this boy, but now he's gone. Dang it.
Yeah, so he goes running off. He's got a minute until the spell. He we'll see
If
he
no
gets
one
it.
smacks me, then he's got a whole minute for me to
Yeah.
concentrate.
Yeah,
Oh,
which,
but then he's got 6 seconds of doing nothing. You know,
yeah, which hopefully will be hidden by that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so could have gone very bad. I was like impromptu pit fiend fight. We'll see how this goes.
Impromptu.
'Cause
I'm
those
so glad I prepared Ace today.
those boys are nasty.
I'm so
but-
glad
Take 'em.
Chad did something to the pit fiend because
I did
was
50
about-
plus damage on him in
Yeah.
Because
True.
I'm talking about telling him to fuck off because I'm
Yeah.
like, he said he smells and I cleaned him up so many times.
I did forget to do the fear. Or well, he probably didn't do that in the crowd. So anyway, so that will be that'll be it for our session here today. So thank you.
Woo!
How
for
exciting!
watching. Players for joining us. Unfortunately, we're not going to be playing next week due to the holiday, but we will be back in 2 weeks to pick this up, and hopefully, with the next session and session after, we'll be concluding this current little fiend arc here. We'll see how
That's what you think. Be like, fuck your deal. We're going back to
yeah, I don't know. You guys can do whatever you want. But you're in the city. You've got a portal there. Now you're
We
playing
could
with
have just told him
portals.
to run into the portal.
Yeah.
I just
Chuck him
told
in
him
there.
to run. Where he went was up to him.
Yeah.
So
Is the I just realized the portal goes to the blacksmith's little cellar. I don't think Lobster can get out from there.
no, it's the cavern under the
Mhm.
city. So there's
ways
more
out
to
Yeah,
it.
which probably it's more open now, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks to pick this up. In the
I'm
meantime,
not
check
telling
out
Chad's grandmother we did this.
check out all of our other shows. We got Slang 101 tomorrow night at 4:00 Eastern time. We have Exiles on Tuesday at 8:00 Eastern time. I think we won't have anything else after that for probably a week because we won't
man.
have anything with the holiday and stuff here in the US.
Thanksgiving.
A lot of us will be busy, so we probably won't have as much streaming, but I'm sure something will be going on. And yeah, come back and join us in 2 weeks to see how this shakes out. If they're able to finally escape the depths.
To persuade someone, finally.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Check out all of our stuff. Join us on Discord, all that good stuff. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Good morning.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Morning.